Walk into a library, it's neutral ground.
Yep. Well, in the interest of arranging politics to where he can live with himself, Nathaniel Ashford has agreed to meet Florian Bachard on neutral ground, hoping to acquire more information before electing this guy to a potentially dangerous position in which he has the right to kill things. And we'll iris in the scene, and we can just kind of set the descriptors or wherever the hell we are.
Yeah, we can do the screen wipe. However, well, given that your character as or David there as
Oh yeah. You want to do the call to set it up?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, actually, it really does. Unless you don't want to go down to where you can actually face to face this, you can call him, but unless you just want to go see him.
Yeah, face to face meaning good.
Oh, you just want to walk up to him. Okay, all right, not a problem. So he's in the usual place, and you just walk in. You walk up to what to normal people would look like a section of the of just brick wall, and you know he's taught you this one brick that you push and it'll activate the door. And you do it, and it slides open, and there's just computers everywhere. And David is sitting there twiddling a pen between his fingers. Hey Nate, what's up?
Well, I just gotta make a quick inquiry as to this Bachard individual, so arranging the meeting would be useful. Just to lay my conscience at rest. Not that I don't mistrust him or any sort of thing, I'm just acquiring more knowledge, that's all.
You want to learn about Florian. Okay. I'll give him a call, see where he wants to be. Hang on. And he picks up one of the devices that's on his table and puts it to his ear and hits a button. And he actually reaches over to a keyboard, and you see him typing something. And Florian's phone rings.
And when he picks it up, you can tell where normally the loud crassness of the hospital would have drowned out most normal calls, especially at this particular hospital. That it's more quiet than usual, even given the time as it is. A very groggy sounding voice comes over via phone. Yeah, yes. Well, it's Florian. What's wrong?
Hey, Bachard. Menashe. Harpy wants to meet with you on neutral ground, away from the hospital, preferably.
Oh, that's understandable. Unfortunately, my clan does have a tendency to well, what's the word I'm looking for? Scare shitless. Most. So.
Yeah.
Does he have a I'll let you set up the neutral ground. I'm fine wherever. Just give me a little bit he turns back and for those of you watching the home game, playing the home game, notice that there is a pair of patients where Florian's been sleeping. Both of whom look like they've just recently been drank from. Then, yeah, allow me to finish and get stuff ready, and I'll meet him there. I'm assuming no weapons, no nothing along those lines for obvious reasons, both for everybody's safety and for each other's. So, and let him know on my word, I will not use no power. I mean, no powers will be activated.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Actually, hang on. He punches a couple buttons, and then takes his the earpiece that he had off, and sets it on the table. Tell him yourself, Nate, Florian, Nate. Talk, boys. Figure out where you want to meet.
Well, anywhere but a facility without access to scalpels and copious amounts of drugs that I don't know what the hell they do would be nice. That's.
Well, we've
And
already decided away from the hospital, so.
So aside from that, I really have no provisos, no expectations. However, you might not like the smell down here. I don't know if you are used to frequenting the sewer. I would gladly offer to just get us a hotel room, but I would expect dinner first.
He can tell you he frequents the sewer. I'm sorry, did I say that out loud?
Oh. Well, in that case, I think we can both come to the agreement that it'll work fine for our purposes.
But he would need a good scrubbing before he goes back to work. Let's not do that.
Fair enough, fair enough.
Common sense would dictate that we go somewhere where preferably, one, neither one of us would draw much attention. Two, we could have this discussion in a location that would also not run problematic, with the masquerade. Three, we need a location that's open 24/7, so that way people don't even wonder what in the world's going on. Answer logically, Waffle House.
That sounds perfectly fine to me.
Huh. Waffle House.
It's also
All right, hang on.
It's also a location that does not, for obvious reasons, allow weapons, and there go. Neither one of us will draw much attention to ourselves. If we do, it'll be discouraged as nothing more than a couple of kids talking about a game, or maybe even adults. Given the recent craze of things such as Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah, I wasn't planning to bear steel at a parlay. That's not my style. Anyway.
All right, hang on, boys. He actually turns to the computer this time, and you see the screen pop up, and it's a map, and he just starts doing searches. Just quicker than you can watch. He's doing them. Just got one. He sends a picture of it of the location to both of you.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, two. He sends it to Florian, and he asks. He turns to Nate. That look good?
That works
That one
perfectly fine. So he'll just make his way heading to the location, and assuming that it's fairly far away, he'll just take off using the fortitude and running like a mug.
You get a call shortly after.
Mm-hmm.
And he says he says to both. He's still on with Florian, but he says ask for the slugger. They'll know.
Mm-hmm. All right. So, a short while later, you basically come face to face with a rather tall, 6'4", very bulky individual in very nicely tailored clothes that is specifically designed to hide the fact that he's, a lot stronger than your average Ventru. Appearance 5, angelic beauty and heroic profile. This man would stand out in a crowd.
Florian, when he comes in, you can tell his style of dress is befitting a doctor just getting off of work. So it's he's wearing essentially slacks, a button-up shirt with the sleeves rolled up, a essentially a jacket thrown over, and hair that the only thing about him that seems antiquated is the only thing that seems antiquated, and that's because it's still long and in many ways still kept in the fashion that was worn in the 1700s by keeping it pulled back, or in the manner of which he has it pulled back.
Yeah.
He's got appearance too, and you can definitely tell he does not stick out really, but
Yeah.
minus the fact he keeps looking around, very much attentive to his to his area. That and he does not look extremely happy. He is not happy to be outside of his home.
Yeah. Given the fact that I do have fairly high perception and empathy, that's very interesting to know.
Now, when y'all get there and you sit down, of course, you can sit anywhere, but when you sit down at one of the free tables, old man comes up to you and looks at you both. What can I get you boys?
Coffee will do just fine. Maybe a slice of pecan pie.
He stares at you and says, anything else?
Ashford just kind of smiles the movie star-like grin and taps a rather nice pewter hip flask.
Like perhaps a slugger?
You actually hear Florian visibly facepalm.
So, kind of
and
amused.
He looks back and forth between the two of you, and then he looks over at the crowd, and they all turn and stare at you and do a pretend tip of the hat. And then they go back to what they were doing. The whole restaurant.
Oh, Florian
turns around and looks at you, and then goes back to what they were doing.
Florian busts out laughing as soon as he realizes what's going on.
And it's all older people. Now, a couple of young kids, yeah, like teenage kids, and they're all on the everyone. It looks like they're playing Pokemon Go.
Yeah. Ashford just kind of has this look like there are so many of these. I am reevaluating situations. But yeah, he basically.
But your waiter does not sound familiar.
Okay.
I'll say that.
So, essentially, you can understand why I would have some questions. Your name was put forward for a local position. I just wanted to feel you out and get to understand you better before I could, in good conscience, support your maneuver.
Understandable. Any harpy who goes for that particular position, or who has to deal with that headache and that title, of course, an interview would be understandable. That way, you understand that the person who's going to the position is going to a position that A, they're going to be of benefit both to us and to themselves, and to those all around. B, helps ensures that you yourself obtain a little bit of a power position in that. Well, you help put them there, so that way they, in some aspect, do owe you a bit of a favor.
Yep.
Nothing maybe too big, but just enough to where you can push it when it counts. And 3, it also ensures that if in case it does turn out terrible, that you can actually do so in a manner that you can kind of politely step away and say, well, they seemed fine when I interviewed them, so I don't know what in the world went wrong.
Exactly.
It's a good version of covering your ass.
At this point, he's not only looking impressed with Florian, but I'm also looking at him very circumspectly, so I'm rolling perception empathy. Just trying to feel him out, and let's see how I do on that. Ooh, boy, curse the ones! This guy is inscrutable. 3 successes and 4 ones. Just like
Also, I was about to say, I need someone to
Congratulations.
to roll.
You have botched, sir.
yeah. For me, that's
I
an
also need-
achievement.
I was about to say, I also need someone to look over the merits right fast for 2 of them. One is in his former ghoul, the other is harmless.
Oh, wait. It doesn't even matter. He botched.
Yep.
Yeah, it does not matter. He
Yep.
gets nothing.
Yep.
Not get anything. You're kind of sizing him up. How you botched it? Staring at the jukebox.
Yep.
Of the building, which I guess it is a Waffle House. I didn't hear whether it was or not.
Yep.
You were staring at the jukebox. Became aware of the fact Jones's What's New Pussycat has been on repeat for about 5 times now.
Nosferatu taste in music amuses me. Okay.
I still find it surprising that he was able to get as many of his retainers and followers out here as he could.
Yeah, that's the boss, all right.
Oh, that's classic him. He likes to ensure that when a meeting goes down, that if he could have anything to say about it, he's going to make sure it's on his terms and not anybody else's. It's classic him.
Well,
Couple seconds.
so far,
couple seconds after he says that, your waiter, this old man waiter, comes back and sets 2 opaque cups in front of each of you. Yeah, in other words, one apiece. And says, the grill's a little busted, so give us some time. And he winks at the both of you. But y'all enjoy your drinks. If you need something, call me.
Thank you. Yeah, you actually see him.
And it is what you think it is.
I'm about to say, you actually see Florian pick it up and sniff, and dip a finger in and do a taste. I need someone to roll me intelligence and science biology.
How many is that for you, buddy?
7.
All right. And I'm doing the exact same thing, except with my perception and empathy. I'm just kind of looking at it, like, not exactly sure what this is, just sniffing on it. And you got 3 successes. You basically get a lot of information about this.
Any specific information that you're looking for about it?
I'm using my biology. If I needed to have done medicine, I could have done medicine. In which case it would have been 2 dice less. But effectively, I was treating this blood the same way a wine connoisseur treats it.
Yeah. You can't really get who it's from. It's definitely healthy. You don't detect any erroneous signs of like disease or drug use or anything like that.
There we go. That's more like me.
It's clean, but not high. That you didn't get high enough to tell much about it.
Well,
but it doesn't look like vampire.
Okay, well,
I'll say that.
The other big one is, did it come off more human or did it come off more animal?
Let's see. Kinda looks like a mix.
Okay, probably using the leftover blood from some of the steaks and things like that they sell here, which is understandable and also really, really good business sense.
Yep.
Given the fact that doing so also enables them to actually serve our particular dietary necessities, and also allows them to not have to worry about throwing it away. Well, unless it ends up going horribly bad, in which case. And you notice he has completely gone off on a tangent.
Yep.
He's muttering to himself, but it's that type of tangent that's a intelligence tangent, not a.
Yeah. This is not a bad thing. At least it kind of gives me a sense that you do have detective's instincts. You do have that kind of know-how, and basically doing the sniff kind of curious thing because I got essentially 5 successes on this roll. Luckily, after the massive botch, because that would have been horrible otherwise. And the feed would probably know my feeding preference because I work for him and he's a
Yeah,
Nosferatu.
yours is completely. You looking at it, yours is completely different from his.
Okay.
Or if you could tell the difference just by looking, you would be able to tell that this is different. But you sip it and it tastes really good.
All right. Safety. Okay. Just slugs it down, feeling a little bit more secure. Uh, okay, that could have gone badly.
Indeed, however, last to my knowledge, unless you've made David an enemy, he never attempts to bind you. At least not up front.
That's fair enough. Essentially, I have nothing against you. You were just an unknown quantity, and being an investigator myself, I had to, in good conscience, just kind of get to know you and see how you work. And you are a very cerebral individual. I think you would have some investigative talents. If we could help you with the focusing on the task at hand, you'd be fine.
Unfortunately, given our particular genetic establishment, the study of hematology is unfortunately kind of a curse that goes along with us, and ergo has been one that I study rather extensively. I treat blood the same way most people treat wines.
Well,
Uh,
there are worse quirks, trust me.
yes, unfortunately, I've met a few. Please don't remind me. I don't like. There's a reason why the original position I attempted to apply for. There's a reason why I was good at it when I was back home, and that's
Somebody
because
at the next table hears you say I've met a few and goes,
he stops, turns, looks at the person, kind of shakes his head, and is like, yes, I know. You can tell your master. I know. Before just shaking his head and looking.
and that guy, that particular guy says, "Tell who?" And it's a familiar voice. Gotcha. And then he does the finger guns. Gotcha. You thought I was the waiter. Continue, boys. I'm listening.
Oh, no problem. I fully expect that you are, being that you're the only one in this city that is definitively better than me at my job.
You're actually good at your job? I'm sorry, I had to.
Yeah, I know. Set me up for that one. Okay. But yes.
Florian's just shaking his head, just like I'm surrounded by. He's the, and for those of you who are at home playing, for those of you at home playing the home game, Florian is unfortunately the straight man in a room full of comedians right now.
Well, the thing is, trust me, when it comes to Malkavian crazy, I have a lot more knowledge that I would like to have. Given that one was stalking me until recently,
I think I know which one. You see him look up for a moment, nod his head. As soon as it dawns on him, yes, I'm sorry. Unfortunately, I've seen some of the images in her mind.
images.
Please tell me you're not a fan of chocolate pudding.
I haven't been able to enjoy proper food for 163 years. No.
Okay, good, because her stuff involved chocolate pudding, and it was weird. Even by my standards, it was weird.
Oh my. Yeah, I have a feeling that if I was to spend any time in her head besides the odd help here and there, my brain would explode. Ay, for God's sakes, I have the unfortunate sobriquet of Incubus, and that woman gives me the heebie-jeebies.
May I make a recommendation then? He actually takes a card from his jacket and slides it to you. It's actually his own cell. If she's giving you trouble again, please give a call at this number, regardless, and I will settle the problem. She may not be gone, but I will get this problem situated.
Thank you. Platonically, I absolutely do not mind her. She is a lovely person, but the effect
But
of...
the bird one has called you. Yes, I've seen you and her in court when we've been called together. If you notice, I'm usually off, almost hiding in a corner as well as your boss.
I understand the desire to be circumspect. I have absolutely no issue with your investigative skills. Are there any problems that I could help you with? Because I know your family does have issues. How can I cover and help you work with those?
Unless you can change this, and you see him hold his hand up over his face. There's what's a good way to put this? See, let me put it this way. I'm assuming when most people see you, they see an object of great beauty. I'm quite sure there's probably been one or two toreadors who have thrown themselves at you and attempted to kind of
Attempted.
fluffen you up.
Yes, attempted to do things. Yeah.
To them, you're an object of beauty. To me, unfortunately, I see you. I see, unfortunately, what we really are. I look at the glass here. I see coagulated blood in a rusted cup. I look at the table. It's rusted and old and decrepit. The seats we're in have busted up. They're almost gone. I see the fluff on the floor. The
Under
humans
his
around
breath, the old man says, "That cup ain't rusty. Shut up."
So
my apologies. It's not the cup is actually rusty, but my eyesight, unfortunately,
yeah.
sees that.
I understand completely because I am afflicted with more than a few interesting problems myself. I wish that I could help you with that, but the only way that I could think of would be considered mentally messing around with broken pieces, and I don't exactly think that would be cool without your permission. In her case, I was just improving her attention span. With you, I don't know what I would be doing.
That's understandable. We're not all of us are easily fixable,
Mm-hmm.
for lack of a better word. Also, in case you're wondering as to exactly why I was asking for this particular position, in many ways it's what I had been doing when I was at home in France. It was what I was really good at. I was effective, and as of late, I have noticed we have had problems with people who have been seeing what they should not be seeing.
Mm.
So I have effectively volunteered my home, as it is, to, for lack of a better word, serve as a... You actually see him yawn at this point. But to serve as a facility for the housing of such individuals.
Mm.
Mainly so as to ensure that they are not very problematic. If at all, given that doing so enables me to keep an eye on them, enables them to be cut off from the rest of the world so the rest of the world is not aware, and enables the rest of us to all sleep kind of soundly during the day, as to not be caught unaware by a fool who thinks that a super soaker full of holy water and a couple of cloves of garlic bought at a grocery store will combat the menace that is plaguing his home. And if he thinks such, then he is even more insane than even I would dare to dream to deal with.
Given the fact that he was burning a hospital full of people to try and get at us, I think that was a foregone conclusion. But
I believe the individual you're referring to is perhaps before I arrived in this neck of the woods.
yes, needless to say, after lighting me on fire, he's going to regret ever taking breath out of his mother's womb.
Question: would you prefer him broken physically or broken mentally?
We can do both.
I was about to say yes.
Well, I know you would say yes to either one. However, I have a feeling this nice gentleman would prefer to break him physically.
I have certain capabilities in that realm, but unfortunately the man has a Van Helsing shield of some kind.
I understand. If that's the case, then instead of using your own abilities, in that case, might I recommend the ever classic answer?
Gun meets head.
If you kill the man and if it gets back to those who knew him and those who defended him, he dies a martyr. If you kill him that way, and he becomes dead, it makes a target for you because you're going to want to.
Oh, they already want to nail me up to a tree.
Hear me out. Please. If you kill this man in the manner you're thinking, all you're going to do is garner those who supported him to target you specifically. As you mentioned fire, let's not forget, our particular physiology tends to lead us to not be very big fans of the stuff.
Yeah, lucky for me, I'm very hard to kill.
I envy you for that. However, it still makes you a target. If it makes you a target, that means they're going to try and find out more information about you. Finding out more information about you means more information about all of us. So instead of you being the one to dirty your hands, may I recommend outsourcing to to some of your human contacts. I'm pretty sure dangling the idea of garnering some more power than what they already have, and most of your retainers being more than willing to do the deed.
True, true. I was just thinking that would lead to a gunfight between gun-toting extremists with rather large armories, but it's a reasonable assumption.
And if that's the case, then it looks like religious extremists have gotten involved. Religious extremists get involved means the government gets involved. Government gets involved. Yes, all of us take a little bit of a suffering for a little while because they're going to be wondering what's going on. However, if you remember the events from the last, this year's what, 2016?
Mm-hmm.
If we remember the events of roughly almost 25 years ago in in the American state of Texas, another shootout with religious fanatics and the FBI, a Waco event or something along those lines, I believe it was called.
Oh yeah, you have a good point there, though. That could be an easy fix for the problem.
Why should we get our hands dirty when we can let the humans kill themselves?
Mm-hmm. You have a very good point. Well, given the fact that you seem very reasonable and your situation, aside from having incredibly horrible, malefic eyesight that I wouldn't wish on my worst enemy, you can be worked with and reasoned with. I approve of this. We're good. Hmm.
I'm glad to know that we both can agree on this. He actually holds out his hand for you to shake.
He'll gladly take it, but he'll just kind of clasp it in the more, European warrior style of checking for daggers, even though your sleeves probably aren't that long. He's just, was raised by much older vampires, so certain habits stick.
Oh, understandable.
So basically, he'll just kind of, you can clearly tell his opinion of you is definitely shot up a few ranks, and he'll just kind of turn. Looking forward to working with you, to be honest.
Agreed. Also, next time you are in, where was it, South Carolina, dealing with a certain type of problem, give me a ring if you need a ride. I have something that it may be old, but can get you there and back.
Very nice thought. He just kind of gives him a little bit of a profound wave, almost having to stop himself from bowing. And he just kind of straightens up, smiling. And of course, you're probably seeing a horribly desiccated corpse, but half of the girls in the back probably just fainted.
No, they're not even paying you any attention.
They're not paying us attention because they were told not to pay us attention.
Mm-hmm.
You look around and they're all either pretending to eat or messing with their phones
All right,
or
so
talking.
refreshing change of pace, actually. Okay, good.
So,
Yeah, they're all kind of sitting there.
there was a reason why I chose a location such as this. Like I said, not very much attention.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, of building this small, fairly easy to fill up with followers.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Fairly good point. Now I just have to make sure that I don't get shot on my way back.
You wound me, sir. You actually see him open up his jacket, and if you notice, there's no weapons or anything along those lines. There's no sign of where he could have carried anything.
Oh, I wasn't worrying about you. More like the church extremists that want to shoot me full of pointy little LED lights or horrible things that they think will kill me.
The old man at the next table which you know is David now, says, I don't know what the problem is. I could walk in on a church service while it's going on.
You could. They want to nail me to a tree for simply being different.
Oh, not that kind of church. I would not go to one of those churches. Oh, unless we were dealing with it. Speaking of,
As I said, why use our own hands?
Very
because
true.
the others are squishy.
The others may be squishy, but the others also turn to a gauntleted fist when pointed directly. One or two words of Allah Akbar, and you'll very quickly see just how quick they'll respond to it.
True. But you were saying, boss.
Yo. Yeah. There are. How many of you visited now? 1, 2, maybe?
2.
Remind me. Okay. You still got 5 to check out.
Oh, great. Lovely, lovely, psychotic little cathedrals of doom.
You got the tools. Don't worry about it.
Fair enough.
I believe in you. And at this point, he turns around and claps a hand on your shoulder to emphasize the I believe in you.
Mm-hmm.
Don't disappoint me, yeah? I've got big plans for you.
I wasn't planning on dying
And
anytime soon.
and if you look at him, you see a twinkle, like he's up to something,
Yeah,
but he's not telling you.
David, I recognize that look.
Yeah. And
Yes, you do, Florian.
Did you have to pronounce it in that way?
Oui, Monsieur Bachard. And he's grinning from ear to ear now. And he briefly lets the mask drop. And Ashford sees him the same way that Florian does. Do good, and there might be something in it for you. And then he puts the mask back up.
Oh, I wasn't planning on dying. Last thing I want to do is unleash a scary little adorable gangrel that could rip things apart with their freaking nails of death that would shred like steel doors and lovely, lovely things like that.
Oh, you mean that girlfriend of yours? Good call.
Yeah. Dying would do horrible things to certain connections, and I don't want to do that.
Oh, we've died once. I'm pretty sure none of us are looking to relive the experience.
I have to go through it every evening.
My sympathies.
Terrible experience. You think seeing things the way they truly are is bad. I have to go through my mortal death every freaking night.
If someone would roll me an intelligence medicine check right fast, that's 5 dice.
I got it this time. Oh, but I need the camera. I forgot I don't have the camera on. I
can roll it for you, dude.
I will read it out. 8, 10, 6. You got 3.
8, 10, 6.
Yeah. 2 4s, but what were you looking for?
If I may recommend I cannot prescribe it per se because I do not hold enough of a rank in kind society. If you can find it, I recommend finding someone who uses. I kind of mumble off a pain medicine, if possible, and one suited to your taste. Preferably not one who abuses it, but one who utilizes it for pain necessities. You may find that your nights sleep a little easier. Or your nights awake a little easier.
That would be rather interesting. I would still have to get rid of all the blood splatter once I was done with the pleasant little coma, but that's still a good idea.
Like I said,
You can always sleep at my place, and we can arrange that. The guy at the David says.
it's something you can look into for future reference.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, just be careful and do not overtake those. Remember, for very obvious reasons. Remember, if it does what it does to kindred or what it does to kind, imagine what it does to us.
Mm-hmm. Especially with certain abilities, that would be rather odd. Pain receptors would not be very responsive. Anyway, he basically gets up, bows to the gentleman, and takes off running like a bat out of hell.
You hear the old man as you're running out. Remember the man, and it doesn't finish before you lose hearing
Yeah.
of it.
I just see him run out, just shaking the head.
But Florian hears sk.
And just for fun, I'm gonna see how that goes. And with those 1-8,
Oh.
yeah, quite a lot, quite helpful there.
You mentally connect to it, and you hear it, almost a questioning, and you change as you're running. Just it's a takeoff. It's just,
Yeah.
your legs pick up into like your whole body just kind of picks up into the mask and then burn for, and you're off.
To which Florian just kind of watches it, just shakes his head, and is like, "Oh well." He's of a tolerable sort. He's a necessity. He's also a necessary evil, particularly for the Harpy. Though you would figure one would be a Toreador for that task.
He's the only one with brains in his head that was willing to take it.
I'm assuming. Oh, I'm assuming all the Toreador were too busy screwing at each other, and I have a feeling that for the Venture, it's about as low a position as they could put him with making him feel fit and with making him feel superior to the vast majority of us. Plus, it also gets him off of their back because then that means he feels he has a position of importance. So he's not going to constantly be scrounging for more power, at least none that they think he's going to be going for.
Oh, believe you me, I made him my knight to keep an eye on him.
Well, understandable. An individual like that, he could either turn to a very great benefit or a very great hindrance.
Mm-hmm.
And
by the way, you haven't been to see Becky in a while. She's getting upset.
Out of character note for David, Ashford has actually never really sought power positions. He's actively tried to stay out of the way of those.
Okay. Which is why he said you had a good head on your shoulders.
And out of game, that was for everybody. That was actually out of game Florian speak for. Oh joy, another venture. He's probably going to be a pain in the ass. Keep in mind, Florian's not used to New World Venture. He's used to Old World Venture.
Mm-hmm.
So he's used to a different thought process. Anyways, back to it. With the mention of that name, he just kind of sighs and rubs the bridge of his nose. I know, unfortunately, I've been occupied.
Mm-hmm.
Been trying to find out some information involving this, and you see him move to sit down in a empty chair right across from you, Walt.
Oh, yeah.
Right across from David. Take off his left shoe and sock and point out there's a rune there.
Oh. He bends down and looks at it. Huh.
Yeah.
He says, Futhark origin, Berkano, and Nauthes.
Yeah.
It's a good thing. Leave it.
Oh yeah. Well, from what I was looking,
I've heard reports. He says some of my guys have it, and he looks around the room, and you see a couple of them actually look over and just nod. We still don't know who it's from, how it got there. You know, if it's it had to be some kind of person or entity that put it there. Don't know who gave it. Just be careful.
agreed. From what I was reading up on, it comes off as either beneficial or damaging, depending on how it was put. From the looks of it, it wasn't put reversed. So that means it's meant to be protective.
Yeah. And do not know what it's going to do, these things. Rune magic is weird. I don't pretend to know it.
Agreed. Anyways, tell Becky I should go. I should be over there to see her. And
At this point, one of the girls in the corner stands up, walks over. Tell her yourself, punk.
hello, Becky.
Hi.
How have you
You
been?
need to come home. We miss you.
Yes.
And she gives you a smooch on the cheek.
Are you referring to your sewer, or are you referring to my hospital?
Am I invited? She cocks her head to the side.
Someone roll me a willpower. I need 5 dice for willpower.
I'll do it.
Oh,
Okay. Two because of that. Actually, not that one. That one. Two.
Okay, so it's
What did you need?
so it's actually for territorial.
No, she asked.
I know. Are you going to be a good girl and behave?
At this point, you
And
see
he's-
Devilish Grin.
He's
When-
also coy.
You see Devilish Grin. When have I ever been a good girl? But yes, I'll leave your kids alone. Is that okay?
I'm gonna head back now. He gets up, quietly grabs Becky's hand, sets down some money for the drink, goes to the car he drove in, heads back to the hospital.
Oh, he's taking her with him?
Yeah.
Okay.
Also,
And
you should know.
You should know what's going to
When you
happen.
get to the car, there is on the car in white paint numeral 7.
It's positioned where? It's okay.
Well,
In the center of the windshield, or
Windshield.
A7?
center of the windshield. Okay.
VII.
Becky stops, looks at it, puts a hand to her mouth, and turns back into the restaurant.
Florian just kind of...
And the whole restaurant stands up.
Yeah, Florian just kind of rubs the bridge of his nose again before quietly walking over to his car, unlocking it, opening the door, looking around to see if anybody notices. He's doing something, fidgeting with the windshield. Because this is one of those old ones that lets you actually still remove the windshield.
Oh, okay.
He pops that out, sets it in the back seat, kind of runs his hand through his hair of, that's going to be fun getting fixed. Looks at Becky, gives her that apologizing, I'm sorry kind of look. Hops in the car.
She actually looks at where you put it and says, hang on, sugar. And you see another guy, you see the waiter come out, walk over to it, walk over to the back,
Yeah.
put his hand on the windshield that you just deposited, make some motions with his hand, and nod, and then nod to the one that you know is David, and then nod at Becky, and pull his hand back. We'll find him.
Cool. Good. When you find them, let me know. I have business to discuss with them.
We'll try to make sure they don't follow you and get to you before you get to some place you can defend.
Well, they've already hit my home. I was not happy with that. And then I'm assuming that's Becky who he's talking to right now.
No. The old man that was your waiter came in, put his hand on the windshield you just deposited.
Oh, and put a tracker on it. Essentially.
You don't know what he did, but he did something to it, and then pulled his hand back.
And then said, we'll be able to find them. Yeah, effectively a tracker.
Yeah, we'll.
He looks at him, he looks at Becky. Might be a good thing as well. A fire happened a few weeks ago inside the hospital. No one was hurt, but paperwork was damaged. Mostly the clinical stuff up front. Let David know. I'm handling it now.
Alright. And they both turn around. Because of this shakeup, Becky doesn't want to go anywhere near that car right now. So they both turn around and walk back in.
Right. I hop in the car, crank it up. It blows up, doesn't it?
Will?
Oh, good. So, no blowing up.
Yeah, he's good.
And then I'll just drive back to the hospital, which when I arrive, out comes the cell phone. I take a photo of the windshield. Because like I said, I put it in the backseat of the car. And mass forward it to pretty much everybody whose number I have in Tarheel, as well as my retainers. And to my retainers, there's actually the handful of retainers I sent it to, there's actually a stipulation. Bring me those who found this. Immortality may be your reward.
And also, when those two go back in, we shoot back over, and when those go back in, a bunch of them come back out of the restaurant, and they start circling the place. Start, physically walking, making a line, and milling about. And you see the one that did and we see the one that did something with the windshield, actually going to where you parked and start, searching the ground. And unless Will has something, we can end it there.
We have one thing.
Okay.
When you took the picture of the windshield,
Mhm.
there was a can of white spray paint sitting in the back seat.
They tossed it in there for me. Make it look like I did it. Smart.
You have seen this can of white spray paint before. Or you've seen this brand before.
Even more specifically, I reach in the back end of my car, reach into the trunk, grab a pair of gloves, move the windshield out of the way, grab the can. I'm taking it inside for analysis.
All right.
Because there's more likely than not, the purchaser of this can paid for it, was not wearing their gloves when they had it. So here's that plan.
Actually, I'll give it to you. I'm not going to have you wait on this one. So after a couple hours of analysis, it is, like I said, it is Walmart brand spray paint.
Yeah.
$1 a can cheap paint. And you're able to pull a couple of prints off of it.
Mm-hmm.
The police influence is going to be tough to run them. You probably know some people through retainers and through certain NPCs that have police contacts that can help you with that.
Oh yeah. Well, that's something to send off for, honestly, a little bit of a later time. But something that will be getting sent.
Okay, so you send that off to
I send it off to, that's going through my retainers, that's going through David, and let anybody else know who has who Florian has met, who has influenced police, know that they've got a text message with the photo of the windshield as well as a photo of the fingerprints.
Okay.
And
you get a text back from David. We'll run them.
Cool. Oh, he also, that text he sends out to everybody who's got police influence that he knows. FB, found in my car these prints. Run to see if we can find them. Send.
But yeah, you'll get back. We'll run them from David.
Good.
I know people.
Didn't say you didn't. Tell Becky sorry for the shakeout.
He texts back. She says, "Don't worry, she'll find you later."
All right. Tell her to keep my spot at the so we're ready.
Always open, brother.
And with that, Florian is finishing up his stuff. He's policing up his lab. You see him count the number of times he has fed today on his fingers. Twice. Remembers, calls one of the nurses over. I need the following patients. He lists off 3 patients to be brought to his office, where he's going to feed and do the same with them as he had with the previous 2. Give each one a drop of blood from him, and then drain a drop back.
All right.
So, and that's all for.
That's all. If the rest of you guys, any PC related stuff to clear it to finalize, or if anything for Walt, but other than that, that's all I have.
I'm clear.
Clear here.
Nothing to contribute so far. Just dreading going into one more Temple of Doom church.
All right. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. One of season 2 in the books, and this is our little pre-show for season 2. Officially, this Saturday, the first, same channel, maybe the same. We're not sure. And also, I'm sure you probably can see it scrolling across my face right here. Tarheel by Dark now has a Patreon page, ladies and gentlemen, and greatly appreciate any support we're willing to provide. We are still developing what you may receive as a Patreon supporter, but trust and believe that you will be compensated. And the link is somewhere around in there. YouTube happens to have their description at right now. Well, there, here. Soon, guys. Season 2 is October 1st. That's this Saturday, right around the corner.
A couple of ideas for